I know. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's me, Inked, and I need you guys to head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. Yes, that's right. Trifecta merch is here. It is here for our Trifecta family to show their love and support and advertise for free. Well, not technically for free. You did pay for it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. We're all inclusive. If Prince can wear it, so can you. Have a good one.
It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
All right, tonight we were going to talk about tariffs, but I want to talk about child slavery. So we'll be going to California where they popped the marijuana found 10 children. We're going to talk all about that. We're also going to talk about the animals who are threatening ICE and blocking them from doing their jobs. We're going to talk about all of the latest. We're talking about Trump's Truth Social post. In our uncomfortable conversation, we are going to unpack how Beyoncé got robbed of unreleased music and critical work files, and what this says about deeper cultural issues in the Black community. In our Turntable Rewind, we're spinning back to the year 2014 with the year-end chart toppers and paying tribute to the 40th anniversary of Live Aid. We have a dope throwback picture and a hilarious Leave Me Alone segment, and an inspiration point that will leave you asking, what about your friends? All that and more coming up on the RANT Experience.
Thank you for tuning into the RANT Experience. This episode is brought to you by our official merch store, ajsrantroom.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you get new uploads and live streams hot off the presses. We drop a new episode of the RANT Experience every Monday, and now it's time for a politics fix.
Woo! Bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell in the backgrounds of your mouth. Hope everybody's good tonight. And so let's talk about it. Why are these illegal people running? Okay, pause. Y'all can hold up. All right. So let's I want to start here. And the reason why I want to start here is because when I often say that the Democrat Party has not changed, the Democrats of yesterday are the same Democrats today, right? And people are, oh no, the party's changed. Oh, the philosophy switched. No, it's the same philosophy. You just change colors. All right. Now you got more Black folks co-opting this message of we need slaves, and you got Hispanics fighting to continue to be slaves, which is really weird to me, which is why I go on live every day and I have my I stand with ICE background, and people are, oh, you're going back to Africa. Oh no, you're next. Donald Trump don't even like you. All the stupid stuff they say and all the terribly racist things they say to me in my DM. I think somebody said yesterday in my DMs that I hope you get pulled over and killed by a cop. So that's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. Irrational, emotional, crazy people who do not care that 10 illegal migrant kids were found at a raid at a California pot farm. Looks like potential human trafficking. We don't care about human trafficking. Only if a Republican does it, and we might blink. 10 illegal migrant youth, most of them unaccompanied, were found at a California marijuana farm during a tense immigration raid on Thursday, prompting federal officials to launch an investigation into possible child labor violations. The youngsters, one just 14 years old, were discovered by federal agents at Glass House Farms in Southern California during a chaotic operation in which one protester appeared to fire a gun at authorities. Customs and Border Patrol Commissioner Rodney Scott said on X yesterday. This is Newsom's California, said Scott, in response to Governor Gavin Newsom, who shared a video on the raid. Of course, we don't feel bad that we're trafficking children. We feel bad that these people got to go home. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Homeland Security Secretary Tricia McLaughlin revealed Friday the feds rescued 8 of the minors who crossed the border, quote, unaccompanied. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? McLaughlin said the alarming situation, quote, looks like exploitation, violation of child labor laws, and potentially human trafficking and smuggling. You think? Scott announced a child labor probe into the farm in his Thursday night social media post. The farm's president, Graham Farrar, is a regular donor to Democrat politicians, according to the FEC records. Farrar has donated to Santa Barbara Democrat Central Committee's Federal Political Action Committee and Rep. Salud, yeah, you got that name, on multiple occasions, according to the records. He also donated $10,000 to Newsom in 2018, according to California records. Glass House Brands defended their employment practices and denied hiring kids in a statement posted on X. Yesterday, Glass House Brands received immigration and naturalization warrants. As per the law, we verified that the warrants were valid and we complied. Workers were detained and we are assisting to provide them with legal representation. How about you provided with, you love them so much, why didn't you provide them with a sponsorship so they can become citizens? But you busy wheeling and dealing your money to Democrats, but you're not up here worried about trying to get these people legit on the books. Why you ask? It goes back to my original statement. Why Democrats have not changed? So you can no longer enslave black people in this country. And so you figured out a way to gerrymander the 13th Amendment to still sort of make all Americans slaves. And then you found a loophole, illegal immigration. Who's going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump? Oh, you think she said that by accident? You think she said that because Guadalupe ain't scrubbing her toilet? She knows what's up. Democrats are the same Democrats, except now you got niggas and Hispanics riding for you. They're more concerned with crops getting picked. How about this? Because, the argument is always, well, Americans don't want to work these jobs. No. It's not that Americans don't want to work these jobs. You know what the problem is? You don't want to pay Americans to work these jobs. You want to pay slaves. Yeah. You want to pay people slave wage. You would pay these people nothing if you could. You pay them nothing. But no, AJ, you're the coon that say about Uncle Tom say I'm ready for the white man. Is it me? Am I the drama? No. I point out the facts. Homeboy donated a considerable amount of money to Democrat causes, but for some reason just neglected to spill his fortune over to the people who are working like slaves in these marijuana farms. Children on top of that. And now that, the Trump administration is in charge, of course, this will be thoroughly investigated and followed up on. Quote, Glass House has never knowingly violated applicable hiring practices and does not and has never employed minors. Then what the hell were they doing there? 8 unaccompanied. What were 8 minors doing there unaccompanied? I can't wait to this investigation. We do not expect this to affect operations moving forward. We will provide additional details when applicable. Farrar reacted to the raid, saying, "Our team has been continually on site and we are focusing on taking care of our people and our plants." Of course, you take care of the plants. See, if you paid Americans a wage they could work with, because it's not cheap to live in America. I don't care where you live in America, it's not cheap. So if you're not going to pay people something that they're going to bust their ass for you 40, 50 hours a week, and then they still can't pay their bills. Do you see how crazy that sounds? Right. So you'll slip it to them because you know they probably got like 25 roommates at home and paying 30 cents to stay there. So yeah, it's okay to pay them 3 cents. Unacceptable. Figure it out. If you want to make more money, if you want more money in that top line at the end of the day, you figure it out. Figure it out. But slave labor, no more. And anybody co-signing this, you're stupid. You're absolutely dumb, and you're a classic Democrat. You want slaves, you want cheap labor because you don't want to dish out the money to pay an American. Complete bullshit. Stop playing in our face. These people are redonkulous. Could you imagine being 8 years old? You're in a weird land. You don't know anybody. You don't know where your family is. I'm assuming these kids probably don't know where their parents are. Are they in this country? Are they not in this country? Did you come here with them or did you cross the border by yourself? Who brought you here? You didn't end up here. You didn't just float and land into the damn marijuana field. Who brought you here? I can't wait till all of this comes out because this is absolute bull at this point. Garbage, malarkey. We're tired of it. So speaking of ICE and federal agents and all of that, they've been under siege for the last few weeks. Well, they've been under siege for a few months actually, but it's really been dialed up, since Democrat leaders refuse to tone down the rhetoric until someone gets killed. Right. And they need an ICE agent to get killed before they'll tone it down. But even then, they might not tone it down completely. They might just bring it down to like a simmer, but they're not going to turn it off completely and act like human beings, right? So now they're mad that they were mad that ICE agents got doxxed. Then they were mad that ICE agents started wearing masks, so you can't dox them. Then they made up some story because, of course, there's always one or two idiots in the world who wants to imitate an ICE agent and then pick up people illegally. That ain't got nothing to do with the ICE agents. Y'all are doxing ICE agents. Y'all are putting their families at risk, bro. So when you're putting somebody's family at risk and you're going to sit here in my face and tell me, oh, yeah, you have to totally expose yourself. And then, yeah, I know you only make about $70,000, $80,000 a year. And that's not enough to hire personal security. That's not enough. And I might even be generous with that amount because I believe it's a little bit lower. So you go out there in the world, you put your life on the line, you may or may not come home to your family, and now your family's at risk. And you're mad that I'm concealing my identity like I'm some modern day Klansman. Yo, y'all are the modern day Klans people. Yeah, we never want to have that conversation. So you have a bunch of brain dead, emotional, useless members of society. This is survival of the fittest. This is why everybody can't go. Somebody says something, you automatically believe it. Somebody relays something, it has to be true. No facts, no evidence, no proof, just your feelings. Every election cycle, they get you whipped up, emotional, acting like slaves, and you're not slaves. Yeah, no. AJ, what are you talking about, AJ? That's conspiracy talk. No, that's the truth. I know the truth hurts. The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. Anyway, so the animals that decided to attack ICE agents on the 4th of July, of all days, in Texas, I believe they got all of them at this point. I believe they got all of them. They were still looking for one more. I knew that, but I think they got her. And either way, they're going to get her. And when they do get her, I'll just, my question, the question I always ask when people do stupid things like this, was it worth it?
We're here to tell you that late at night on July 4th, Friday night at approximately 10:37 p.m. at the Prairieland ICE Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas. 10 to 12 individuals dressed in black military-style clothing began shooting fireworks and engaging in acts of vandalism at the facility. And this was part of an organized attack. Today, my office has charged 10 individuals with 3 counts of attempted murder of a federal officer. Each of the 10 are also charged with 3 counts of discharging a firearm in relation to a crime of violence. Each of these defendants faces a mandatory prison term of 10 years and up to life in prison. An additional co-conspirator was charged with obstruction of justice and conspiracy for attempting to conceal and destroy evidence in relation to the attack, and he faces up to 10 years in prison. Let's discuss the incident. It was a planned ambush with the intent to kill ICE corrections officers. Make no mistake, this was not a so-called peaceful protest. It was indeed an ambush.
And even those who were
Okay, I don't know what's going on here. But we can't see the video. Could y'all hear it? I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. I don't know. You know, you got Esmeralda here. Yeah. Could y'all hear it or no? Okay. Oh, you got the gist of it. It's playing in sound on my end. Well, what did Martin Sheen say in my favorite movie? Well, no, yours don't give a shit.
We're here to tell you that late at night on July 4th, Friday night at
we heard it,
approximately
Prince. We heard it.
10:37 p.m.
We're good. We heard it. Thank you, Claude. Thank you, Claude. We appreciate you. Thank you. Was it worth it? Was it worth throwing your life away over nothing? You threw your life away for people who are still going to get deported. They're still going back. They're still going back. So I don't get what the problem is. I don't get what we're doing here. So if they're still going back, and now you're in prison probably for a very long time, and when you get out, you're probably going to be on parole for a little bit. Yeah. 10 to life, Lee, 10 to life. Was it worth 10 to life? And then also, our great president, John Jaquavius Trump, posted this on Truth Social. I'm on my way back from Texas and watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen. In that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Home to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, or any form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Step up for these people out here. I'm not a millionaire, billionaire. I can't hire private security. And now I'm limited. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! I am giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This part of the administration is called fuck around and find out. Because now they just gonna get out and bust you in your damn face. And I'll be glad to see it. Y'all are out here attacking American citizens for doing their jobs. Y'all are out here disgracing our immigration laws. Y'all are out here being as anti-American as you can possibly be, and you don't understand why nobody likes you or respects you. You don't understand why you're unelectable. Y'all have gotten progressively worse. I thought once Kamala Harris lost, y'all will retreat, figure out where you messed up, and regroup and come back stronger. Instead, y'all are still going down this regressive road with a small fraction of your party. AOC's dumb ass could never stand on a debate stage and be articulate, thorough, and knowledgeable. She could never do that. She could never do that. She just wants to hand out free stuff. We're not doing. That's not what the government. That's not the government's job. That's not the government's role in our life. So please stop it. You want Jasmine Crockett on a debate stage, being loud and ghetto and loud and wrong? That's not. If that's your future, y'all are messed up. It's not gonna work. Instead of Hakeem Jeffries, who I delightfully, and I stand by it, says has the personality of a dial tone, stands there. I do not understand why they wear. You know why they're wearing masks. You know why they're protecting their identity. Because you have idiots who are recording it, taking pictures, and then figuring out who they are and where their family reside, where their children go to school, and any other pertinent information. You know this is happening in real time, and instead of you step up to protect American citizens, you are more concerned with animals in cages. I don't know what the hell y'all want. Y'all want the 4 seasons for these people? I'm sorry, do American citizens get filet mignon and lobster when they go to prison? From what I've heard, prisons are terrible. They're full of bugs. They're full of mold. Little thin mattress on a metal sheet. As Prince says, just shitting in front of another man. And what do you think they're going to get? So if the American citizen gets that, the one who paid taxes, what you think they're going to get? So yeah, wild out, ICE. Wild out. FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Now, what happened on this day in American history?
So what happened on this day in American history?
In 1798, President John Adams signed the Sedition Act, making it a crime to publish false, scandalous, and malicious writings against the U.S. government. It sparked major free speech debates still relevant today. In 1965, Mariner 4 successfully flew by Mars and transmitted the first close-up of another planet back to Earth. It was a groundbreaking moment for American space exploration. In 1987, pop superstar Madonna dropped the soundtrack for her film Who's That Girl, featuring the title track that would go on to top the Billboard Hot 100. In the year 2000, the American version of Big Brother made its debut, kicking off a long-running reality TV franchise that would become a summer staple and pop culture phenomenon. And in the year 2016, Pokemon Go Mania swept across the United States. The augmented reality game caused huge crowds in parks and city centers and was praised for getting people active and social. Now, are we ready for an uncomfortable conversation?
Rant Summer is here. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to ajsrantroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed.
Beyonce was robbed. Oh my Lord. Beyonce was robbed. And it got me to thinking, why is it always our own? Yeah, I'm going to make the assumption that it was niggas who did this. So, as many of you already know, Beyonce is at the tail end of her Cowboy Carter tour. She's been shutting down cities, giving the culture reason to celebrate and dance to faux country music, show after show. But let's be real. The big news coming out of this tour ain't her performances. It's some straight up nonsense that went down in Atlanta. On July 8th, Beyonce's choreographer and one of her dancers pulled up to a market in a black Jeep. They went inside for a bit, came back out, and boom! The trunk was smashed. Bags gone. Laptops gone. Designer clothes, sunglasses, AirPods snatched. But here's where it gets really crazy. Inside those bags were unreleased music, set list, private files for the show, all of it sitting on now stolen jump drives. Now, luckily, Apple's Find My tracked the AirPods to another location. The suspects believed to be riding around in a red 2025 Hyundai Elantra. An arrest warrant is already out, and the whole thing was caught on camera. Now, I don't think they knew they was robbing someone affiliated with Beyonce. Maybe they did. I don't know. But as I sat with this story, I couldn't shake one question out of my head. Why is it always our own? I mean, let's keep it 100. This is Atlanta. We can go out on a limb and assume that the suspects were niggas. I know some of y'all are about to get uncomfortable, but stay with me for a bit. Stay with me. I promise. I'm going to try to lead you to the promised land here, but you got to stay. Because this isn't about disrespect. It's about reflection. We cry and scream when others harm us, and we should. But how many of us get just as loud when we do it to each other? Too many times we're robbing, shooting, stabbing, bludgeoning, destroying our own neighborhoods and our people. Then when someone in the community gets fed up and says, I'm out, I'm not living like this, they get labeled a sellout, they get labeled Uncle Tom, and sometimes even worse. I've been told to my face, and I'm sure many of y'all have heard it too, that people like me are a, quote, bigger threat. We're a bigger threat. Than these robbers and these gang members or even drug dealers. I mean, let that sink in, bro. I'm a bigger threat for telling the truth. Woo! That is the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. See, we can blame the system all day, and yes, racism exists. Yes, some inequality exists, but let's talk about what's happening in our house, because no white man is hopping in a red Elantra to smash Beyonce's dancers' Jeep windows out. That's on us. And the thing in Atlanta is, what happened to the thing in Atlanta is, you have really rich, privileged black folks, and then you have poor people. Now, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of times, black people with affluence, they turn their nose up to people. They'll go to the hood when it's convenient, when they need to do something, when they want to go have like some really deep fried nasty fish or something like that. But for the most part, they're really not engaging, and it's understood, But don't go to the hood in your best car, in your best clothes. I mean, you're basically a walking target, and then you're taunting people who are struggling. In Atlanta, for example, let's talk about some rates here. Robbery rates are experiencing a mixed trend. While overall violent crime is declining, there's been a slight increase in some specific areas, including robberies. Specifically, one report indicated a rise in robberies from 154 in the year 2024 to 202 in the current period. That's according to the Georgia Public Broadcasting. However, another report highlights a 10% increase in robbery rates in 2024 compared to 2023, according to the Council on Criminal Justice. Now, overall in the United States, 89% of black homicide victims were killed by black offenders. Now, before you say it, oh, well, the white people too. We're not talking about the white people. We're talking about your black ass. The problem is, if your house is on fire, your neighbor's house is on fire, you're not going to go help your neighbor put his house fire out first, right? Right. So focus. This is how you take accountability. This is how you put the fire out in your own house, by taking accountability and taking charge of the situation, not by pointing the finger to other communities and saying, well, they do it too. The fact that we're comparable to white people is not a flex. It's not a flex. That's ridiculous. In major cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, and Atlanta, violent crime is overwhelmingly intra-community. Every weekend, in some of these cities, dozens of black men, women, and children are shot, and most of us barely bat an eye unless it's a cop pulling the trigger. Oh, now we got to get out there. When a white cop kills a black man, the outrage is swift, protests, hashtags, call for justice. But when we do it to each other, crickets. You might get a GoFundMe, you might get a t-shirt, maybe a candlelight visual, and then it's back to business as usual. I'm not saying stop holding others accountable. I'm saying start holding ourselves accountable too. I know accountability is a very difficult word. It is. It's easier to lay the responsibility at someone else's feet. It's easier to blame historical hurt. It's easier to blame the government. It's easier to blame white people. It's easier to blame all of these things. But what have you done in your realm to make changes? No white man, no government, no program, no politician, Democrat or Republican is coming to save your black ass. The change starts with us. Period. Dot. Full stop. We've got to call this out. We've got to stop protecting dysfunction under the banner of keeping it real or not airing dirty laundry. The dirty laundry is already out there for the world to see. I mean, have y'all seen the feeds on X and Instagram? I mean, white people already know, y'all. They don't put the usual suspects in the comment section for no reason. They put it there because they know already. It's already out. And I get it. Some of y'all tired of the conversation, but I'm not. I will have this conversation until I'm blue in the face. You feel like it's hopeless, but there's something more dangerous than a person who accepts dysfunction as normal. There's nothing more dangerous than that. We need to hold more accountability, more discipline, more love, but also more truth telling. And yes, that's going to ruffle feathers. You're not going to be the cool kid on the block anymore. Now everybody going to dab you up, and that's okay. It's going to make some people very, very, very uneasy. And that's all right too. I mean? But like I always say, comfort never changed a damn thing. So while Beyoncé and her team are picking up the pieces, let's ask ourselves, how many more times are we going to let stories like this be just another day in the hood? Because if we don't change, nothing changes. And if nothing changes, the only people we can blame is ourselves. And no, I'm not reaching here. This is not a Jason Whitlock hot take. I'm being honest. And that seems to be a lost art these days. We revere people who lie to us, and we do our best to silence those who refuse to tell us fables, to spare our feelings. We got to get over it. Yeah, I mean, you got to take accountability. There's no reason why these people should park their car and anybody should have broke the back window and stole everything inside. Unacceptable. Whether it was Beyonce or whether it was anybody else, it's just unacceptable. I had a comment, oh, Beyonce's never coming back to Atlanta. She's coming back to Atlanta. Stop it. And I don't know how much more tight-lipped she could be about her projects and everything else. So I don't know. I mean, when do you let the choreographer hear it? When you show up? Like, so, obviously they're working on projects because she's doing a trilogy. I didn't hear the first part of the trilogy. The country album was okay. It was okay. I like that song Spaghetti. It wasn't country, but it's a good song. But you know what I don't understand also about the Grammys, real quick. I know this is off subject, but I would have figured that when like Shania Twain, Faith Hill, even Taylor Swift at one point came along, they would have had a contemporary country category already, because none of them are traditional country. So I thought they would have had that category already. They had to take Beyonce doing a fusion album to get a contemporary country category. That's crazy to me. But anyway, this is our Turntable Rewind. All right, the year's 2014, and the number one song on the Billboard Hot 100 is Fancy by Iggy Azalea featuring Charlie XCX. Fancy reached number one and stayed there for 7 weeks. The song peaked at number 2 on the digital streams chart, with Iggy Azalea simultaneously holding the top 2 slots with her feature on Ariana Grande's Problem. Fancy won the 2014 Song of the Summer chart, topping the list from start to finish. It sold 1.3 million downloads during the Memorial Day and Independence Day period, the most of any song in that time, according to Slate magazine. It was the most played song on U.S. radio for roughly a month. It was the most streamed song for 8 weeks and reached 94 million streams in the United States. Now, the number one album was In the Lonely Hour by Sam Smith. When he was normal. When he was just normal, looked like a man, sang like a man, Now we got devil costumes and spandex and fat. All right. Focus. Sam Smith's debut album entered the U.S. market with a huge splash, selling over 166,000 copies in its first week. Blending heartfelt ballads with gospel and soul influences, the album achieved critical acclaim and commercial success, eventually earning 4 Grammy Awards in 2015, including Best New Artist and Record of the Year. The number one movie in America was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And like all of the other movies before this on this show, I've not seen it. Don't know. Is it part of a trilogy? Is it part of a series? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just, whatever. I know the name, but Dawn of the Planet of the Apes opened to a powerful 72.6 million at the U.S. box office during this debut weekend, securing the number one spot for the week of July 14th. That's not what you put in notes. The sequel built on the critical and commercial success of predecessor, earning praise for its groundbreaking motion capture work. I don't care. Okay, let's get to our feature story. 40 years ago, Live Aid was a 2-venue benefit concert and music-based fundraising initiative held on Saturday, the 13th of July 1985. The event was organized by Bob Geldof and Midge. Yeah, homegirl, she got money. To raise further funds for the relief of the 1983 to 1985 famine in Ethiopia. A movement that started with the release of the successful charity single Do They Know It's Christmas in December 1984. Billed as the Global Jukebox, Live Aid was held simultaneously at Wembley Stadium in London and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. On the same day, concerts inspired by the initiative were held in other countries such as the Soviet Union, Canada, Japan, Yugoslavia, Austria, Australia, and West Germany. It was one of the largest satellite link-ups and television broadcasts of all time. An estimated audience of 1.9 billion people in 150 nations watched the live broadcast, nearly 40% of the world's population. The impressive lineup in Philadelphia included Madonna, Tina Turner, and Mick Jagger. While in London, icons like Elton John and Queen graced the stage at Wembley Stadium. Phil Collins notably played at both stadiums for the historic Live Aid concert. The concert was attended by 72,000 people in London and 89,484 in Philadelphia. Broadcaster Richard Skinner opened the Live Aid concert with the words, "It's noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world, it's time for Live Aid." One of the most awesome days in music history. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know. I'm just reading the script. Anyway. I'm playing. Now it's time for an AJ throwback. Woo! Bring him out. I figured I'd give y'all some more nipple. So this time it's pierced. I was between piercings, I think, in the last one. Or it was just the ball, so you really couldn't see it. I don't know. Anyway, so there's there's a crazy story about this photo, and I could kick myself today. So when I showed up to this shoot, the photographer assistant and the photographer said I was fat. And so I'm sitting there like, as hungry as I am, I shouldn't be fat. As much as I'm dancing and working out, I shouldn't be fat. And I look at this picture now and I'm like, where the hell was I fat? Where? Where? Show me the fat. The audacity of them hating ass people. You would have thought I went in there retaining water. The way these people acting, afro was. I like my afro. My afro was popping in that picture too. I like the picture too. I like that shirt too. I don't know whatever happened to it, but it's gone. And I like my oversized jeans, but I'm like, wait a minute, what? I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, the people go people. I guess people gonna people. People gonna annoy you. People gonna frustrate you. People gonna try your nerves. But here's the thing, if it was me today, I'd been like, shut the fuck up. At the time, I'm just like, I'm grateful for the job. I'm grateful to work. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. But anyway, hey, that's how I wear a shirt. Anyway, man, leave me alone.
Don't just leave me alone.
He's gone. Kick him in the shin. Kick him in the knee. Kick him in the name of victory.
No. Oh my God.
Why?
Got him. Got him.
Oh my God!
Blow on it. Blow on it. That's not gonna do shit.
I'm white. I'm a Caucasian because everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy. It doesn't require weave. My nose is not giant as like African Americans. My lips are perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that? Bitch, you...
Damn!
Hello, it's me again. Don't you know it's hard to get...
That's all for you, Prince.
You okay?
Hey, you okay?
I'm actually fine.
What the fuck, bro?
I am Filipino-Japanese, second generation. I'm a disabled trans man, but I'm also a Medicaid patient. I'm also a person who uses food stamps. I'm also a person who has been through houselessness in this country. I am also a person who has gone through substance use and addiction. And most of all, I am a patient of Planned Parenthood.
If you want me, let me know. Baby, let it show. Honey, don't fool with me. Just think you one more time. Feeling what I can. 'Cause you got the best of me.
Nice. Woo! She She butchered that Madonna song. Cause she just made up her own words. I mean, hey, fake it till you make it, I guess. Oh, I'm white too. I wonder where that black girl is today. So she mean to tell me if she went out into the jungle for like a year, her hair would continue to grow that way. Ah, oh God. Oh my God. I'm so funny. All right, all right, all right. Let's land at our inspiration point.
The best way to identify a great friend is how they react when you win. Real friends want you to win, and once you start winning, you realize how rare real friends really are. Bad friends are 100 times more dangerous than enemies. It's better to be alone than be around people who secretly hope you fail.
Woo, baby, baby. You know when I learned this lesson the most? When I moved to LA from New York. And I really thought that everybody from New York was going to be my friend forever. Mind you, some of these people were my friends for a long time. Like a long time. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're always going to be friends. And then you start going to church and they're like, what the hell is this? And and then you start talking about your politics out loud. They're like, what the hell is this? But you know what? Like I say all the time, I've never had to force a friendship. I've never had to force a chemistry. I've never had to pretend to like somebody, and I'm just not wired that way. I either mess with you or I don't. There's no remixing, twerking, redoing, shawamming. Nah. I'm good. I'm so good. If we don't vibe, we don't vibe. It don't mean you're bad or I'm bad, and I'm not gonna walk on eggshells for your friendship. That's damn sure not gonna happen. You know, because I don't get it. But you see a lot of that in LA. You know, but I have friends in New York who were like, you know, I guess everybody can go. You know, and I never had to pray for it. Literally, it just happens, Cajun. Like when people will naturally remove themselves from my life because they know first of all, I'm not going back down. And secondly, they know I don't care that much. I really don't. You know, be my friend, don't be my friend. Either way, I got stuff to do. I have a lot to focus on. I don't have a conventional life anymore. I don't have a corporate job anymore where there's consistent money. I have to figure things out. I don't have time for this. So if you get in the way, I'm just going to politely push you aside and keep going about my journey because I got stuff to do. That's it, you know. But, you know, cry about it, scream, bitch, moan. I don't care. Do whatever you need to do. But just know that I won't be there. Also, you know, the friends, the other type of friends are the ones who try to hold you to the broken version of yourself, that version of yourself that they like because they're broken and they haven't figured their stuff out and they're not even on they haven't even made the first step to try to figure it out. And so because you're no longer broken, now you're the problem. Those friends too. Don't hang around people every time you bring up you working on this or you do something, the first thing they do is tell you all the ways it won't work. They tell you all the things that could go wrong. Or just flat out tell you you're crazy, you know, but the only time your friend should tell you crazy is when you really doing something crazy. Right. But if it's your dreams and your goals and they're attainable and they're great goals and great dreams, if the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth is discouragement, they gotta go. They gotta go. I lost a friend, my former best friend. I went back to New York in like 2017, was it? And he was just so disgusted. He was like, "You've changed." And I was like, "Okay." And I didn't know, like, the last time I saw him was gonna be the last time I saw him. I didn't know that. It wasn't like, "Okay, I'm cutting you off." It was just like he just blocked me or stopped responding. I don't know what he did, but it is what it is, Everybody can't go. And then, it is what it is, But what about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down again? I mean, just disgust. Like, he was disgusted. And I wasn't even aware that I had changed, right? I wasn't aware of it. I'm making a way. I'm keeping my head above water, making a way if I can. I'm not, I didn't show up like, yeah, I'm reading the Bible. I, I didn't show up like that. It's just different. But you will be different when you lose everything and you have to humble yourself. You would be different too. What the hell? But no. I just want you to be the same. I want you to be running around here, doing reckless stuff, abusing your body, being crazy, being, snapping on people within 0.2 of a second. Yeah, we like that angry version of you. We're gonna hold you to that. Go on with it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always holding me down. Shout out to my producer Claude. Thank you so much for doing the thing tonight. Shout out to the Rant fam. You all do your thing. Yeah, thank you so much for holding me down, supporting. Shout out to the Trifecta Hour fam. The 100th episode of Trifecta Hour goes down this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the YouTubes. Make sure you subscribe to Trifecta Hour. They're part of the package, the podcast package. So go check that out and subscribe, and make sure you support all of our respective podcasts and channels. And to some of you, this might be just another podcast, but to me, this is the next chapter and purpose. And I thank you for lending me some of your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to give me a few moments of your day. And for that, your boy is grateful. And with that said, I'm out.